Jupiter is not just a planet. It is basically its own small solar system, floating quietly at the edge of our own. Around it orbit 95 confirmed moons. That is more than any other planet we know of. Some of these moons are bigger than entire planets. Others are just small chunks of rock, only a few kilometers wide, silently circling in the darkness, far from any human eye. And somewhere among these 95 hidden worlds, scientists believe there might be one of the best chances we have of finding life beyond Earth. To understand why Jupiter has so many moons, you first need to understand how powerful its gravity really is. Jupiter is massive. It is 2.5 times heavier than every other planet in our solar system combined. That kind of gravity acts almost like a giant vacuum cleaner in space. It pulls in asteroids, comets, and icy debris that drift too close. Over billions of years, some of that debris settled into stable orbits around the planet. Other objects were captured suddenly, dragged in from far out in the solar system, sometimes from places we still do not fully understand. This is why Jupiter's moons do not all behave the same way. Some orbit smoothly, moving in one clean direction around the planet. Others move backward. Some are tilted at strange angles. Some follow long, stretched, unstable paths. All of this is evidence that many of these moons were never born there in the first place. They were caught, one, by Jupiter's endless pull. Out of all 95 moons, 4 stand far above the rest. They are called the Galilean moons, named after Galileo Galilei, who discovered them over 400 years ago using one of the very first telescopes ever pointed at the sky. These 4 moons are not small rocks. They are entire worlds, each completely different from the others. The first is Io. Io is the most volcanically active place in the entire solar system, more active than Earth by far. Its surface is covered with hundreds of active volcanoes, constantly erupting, constantly reshaping the ground. This happens because Jupiter's gravity squeezes and stretches Io over and over again as it orbits, heating its interior like a stress ball being squeezed non-stop. The result is a moon that looks almost alien, covered in orange and yellow volcanic scars. The second is Ganymede. Ganymede is the largest moon in the entire solar system. It is actually bigger than the planet Mercury. It even has its own magnetic field, something no other moon in our solar system has. Beneath its icy surface, scientists believe there may be more liquid water than in all of Earth's oceans combined. The third is Callisto. Callisto is an ancient, heavily cratered world. Its surface has barely changed since the early days of the solar system, billions of years ago. It is like a frozen time capsule, still carrying the scars of countless impacts from the earliest chapters of our solar system's history. And then there is Europa. Europa is smaller than our own moon. At first glance, it does not look impressive at all. But many scientists consider it the most important moon in our entire solar system, and maybe even in our search for life beyond Earth. Europa's surface is smooth, icy, and covered in strange reddish-brown cracks that stretch across it like scars. But it is what lies beneath that ice that has captured the attention of scientists around the world. Underneath that frozen shell, there is believed to be a massive global ocean of liquid water, possibly twice the volume of every ocean on Earth combined. That water stays liquid, even in the freezing cold of deep space, because of the same gravitational forces that make Io so volcanic. Jupiter's pull constantly flexes and heats Europa's interior from within, keeping that hidden ocean from freezing solid. Where there is liquid water, a source of heat, and the right chemical ingredients, there is a real possibility for life to exist. Not intelligent life. Not aliens waving back at us from beneath the ice. More likely, if anything is there at all, it would be something small and simple, similar to microbial life found in Earth's deepest oceans. But even discovering something that small would completely change how we understand life in the universe. It would prove that life is not something unique to Earth. It would prove that life can begin anywhere the right conditions exist. This is not just speculation. NASA is actively investigating this possibility right now. The Europa Clipper spacecraft has already launched and is on its way toward Jupiter's system. Its mission is to study Europa's icy shell, measure its thickness, and search for signs that the ocean beneath could actually support life. The spacecraft will not land on Europa, it will not drill through the ice, but it will fly close enough, again and again, to map what is hidden beneath that frozen surface in more detail than any mission before it. The results of this mission could take years to fully understand. Scientists will need time to study the data, compare it with what we know from Earth's own oceans, and carefully rule out every other possible explanation before making any real conclusions. But the mission itself already tells us something important. It tells us that scientists are serious enough about this possibility to send a multi-billion-dollar spacecraft across hundreds of millions of kilometers of empty space, just to check. 95 moons circle Jupiter right now, and we have only closely studied a small handful of them. Most are still nothing more than faint points of light in a telescope, unnamed and unexplored, quietly waiting their turn. But somewhere within that crowd of hidden worlds, orbiting a giant planet that has no true surface of its own, there might be an answer to one of humanity's oldest questions. Are we truly alone in this universe? We may not have to wait much longer to find out, but this is only the beginning of what is still hiding, quietly, in our own solar system. If this fascinated you, hit like and subscribe. The next mystery is coming soon.